Hello, guys. Today we are going to explore the life of a woman of extraordinary courage and selflessness who fought against evil incarnate with every ounce of bravery and strength she possessed. In the darkest chapters of human history, where despair threatened to extinguish all light, there emerge figures whose courage burns with an almost unbearable intensity, defying the very concept of evil. Such was Irena Sendler, 1910 to 2008, a Polish Catholic social worker whose name, though once tragically overshadowed, now gleams as a beacon of selfless heroism. During the unfathomable horror of World War II, she orchestrated a clandestine network that snatched over 2,500 Jewish children from the suffocating grasp of the Warsaw Ghetto, a feat of daring and compassion almost beyond comprehension. She smuggled them out in ambulances, coffins, sacks, and even through the vile labyrinth of saw lines, providing them with false identities and placing them with brave Polish families, convents, and orphanages. Her extraordinary courage and selflessness saved thousands of lives, a heroic act that, for too long, remained a hidden deed of historical recognition, dwarfed by more widely known wartime narratives. Irena Sendler was not a soldier, yet she fought a war more terrifying than any battlefield. As a social worker, she gained access to the Warsaw Ghetto, a hellish enclosure where over 400,000 Jews were systematically starved, diseased, and eventually deported to extermination camps. What she witnessed there ignited an unyielding resolve. She could not stand by. Under the guise of inspecting sanitary conditions, she began her impossible mission, recruiting a small, dedicated network of fellow social workers, nurses, and even taxi drivers. Her methods were as audacious as they were desperate. Infants were sedated and hidden in toolboxes or coffins. Older children were smuggled out in potato sacks, body bags, or laundry baskets. For those who could walk, the saws offered a perilous escape route, leading them to the Aryan side of Warsaw where new lives and new names awaited. Each child rescued was a direct act of defiance against the Nazi regime, a crime in the eyes of the occupiers punishable by immediate death for Irena and her entire family. The sheer audacity of her daily operations, the constant, gnawing fear of discovery, and the moral burden of deciding who to save and who to leave behind were unimaginable. What makes Irena's story particularly poignant and adds another layer of emotional level to her burden was her meticulous, heartbreaking record-keeping. Knowing that these children, torn from their families, might one day yearn to reclaim their true identities, she embarked on a perilous task. She painstakingly recorded each child's original name, their new adopted name, and the location where they were placed. These precious slips of paper were then carefully placed into glass jars, which she buried under an apple tree in a friend's garden, hoping that after the war, these buried secrets would become keys to reunion. This act of profound foresight and unwavering hope, performed under the constant threat of death, speaks volumes about her character. It was a silent promise to the future, a defiance of the Nazis' intent to erase not just lives, but identities. The Gestapo, the Nazi secret police, eventually grew suspicious of the plummeting child population within the ghetto. In October 1943, Irena Sendler was arrested. She was taken to Pawiak prison, notorious for its brutal interrogations. She endured horrific torture, her bones broken, her body brutalized. Yet she never betrayed her network, never revealed the locations of the hidden children or the names in her jars. Her silence, maintained under unimaginable duress, was a testament to her unyielding spirit and loyalty. Miraculously, her network managed to bribe a Gestapo officer, and Irena was smuggled out of prison, though her name was officially listed among those executed. She went into hiding, but continued her work, living under a false identity and caring for the children she had saved, even as the war raged around her. The sin here is not her actions, but the sheer brutality she faced for simply upholding human dignity. After the war, Irena Sendler continued her work as a social worker, helping to reunite families and care for orphans. Yet, for decades, her extraordinary wartime heroism remained largely unknown, even in Poland. The political climate of the Cold War and the complexities of post-war Polish society meant that many acts of individual heroism were not widely celebrated. It was not until 1999, when a group of American high school students, researching a history project, stumbled upon her story, that the world truly began to recognize the magnitude of her achievements. This decades-long obscurity, the offense of a hero forgotten, is as much a part of her narrative as her bravery. Irena Sendler lived to be 98, receiving belated recognition and numerous honors, including being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Her life is a profound testament to the power of individual conscience in the face of overwhelming evil. She was an ordinary woman who performed extraordinary acts, demonstrating that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can choose compassion over cruelty, and that the greatest heroism often lies not in grand gestures, but in quiet, relentless acts of love and defiance. Her story, once a whispered secret, now stands as an eternal, alluring beacon of hope, reminding us that one person can indeed change the world.